Ready?
Yes, yes.
All right, we're going live now. Let's see, admit, and here we go. Almost there.
Yes.
All right, we are live, but for some reason I can't see the
Good
video.
morning, Cheryl.
Good morning, familia. How are you?
Good
Good morning,
morning.
Cheryl.
Well, great.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. Good morning, Wanda.
Let me
Morning.
admit. Here we go. How's everybody doing this Monday morning, early?
Good, I'm
We're
good.
doing
Good,
great.
good.
Morning.
Good. Good morning.
I'm on the YouTube and it's saying live starts at 9 a.m.
No, it should be live right now.
That's probably the
That's
Spanish,
the other one at 9.
Oh, okay.
the Spanish one.
I was making sure it was working.
Oh, 'cause I'm not sure now because I'm on the YouTube now and I can't see it.
I can't find it either.
Yeah, it popped up that it went live, but then
Yeah, it went down.
Oh, I don't know. All right, so let's just start. I mean, it says live on YouTube right now, and then we go
Okay, I
from
see it now. Yep, you're live.
there. We're live.
Okay.
Okay, good. I don't know
Great.
what's going on. All
Good
right, cool.
morning.
Good morning. Sorry for
Morning.
the late start. All right, really quick. Want to do a couple announcements before we get started?
I can help with that.
What happened?
I'm excited to do that
All right, go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead.
because this week is like a kind of a short week and it's kind of different. So we still need to pump it up, but in a different wood. So guys, this week is it's gonna be a short week. It's the 4th of July week. So
Yeah.
the first thing we're gonna do this week is we're gonna close the office early this Friday.
Yeah.
And but before we start with that, let's introduce our one of our preferred lenders. We have
Lender.
lenders. We have Kenon here. Kenon, thank you for being
I
here.
can.
Thank you so much, guys. I learned from last week. I already put my phone number in the chat, but I wanted to say once again, thank you. And just a quick quote for the day. Success in sales is the result of discipline, dedication, and daily action. Last week meeting was amazing. And I believe our host was talking about last week, discipline, how important it is. One thing I would love to add about that, you can be the best realtor, the very best in the entire country. If you don't have discipline, if you're not consistent, the result will never be there. And partnering with me, guys, one thing you will learn when it came to discipline, when you came to consistent, I might not be the best loan officers out there, but I guarantee you, you will always get 100% from me, for you and for your clients. Thank you.
Man, thank you so
awesome,
much,
awesome.
Thank
man.
you.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, brother.
Awesome. I love it. I love it because he said daily action. Even though I said we're gonna close on Friday, we still can call him, right? And
Yes, you can always call me 24/7.
Yeah.
No, but no, to be being serious, I think that's a great opportunity to call your clients, right? When everybody's up, then you could call. So guys, a few announcements. So on August 9, remember we're gonna have the back to school. We're asking anybody if you know anybody that can help us. We're looking sponsor that can help us to provide book bags and supplies for school for kids who needs them. If you don't want to do it, you can just donate the cash, and we can help you to do it. Or if you know any lender, any title company, anybody who want to be part of this beautiful way to give back to the community, we are gonna be doing it on August 9th. We're also gonna have food that day, right, Norma? We're gonna have food and drinks, and some music. So we can, if you want to be there and just be part of that, you can also go that day. Also, we're gonna have, guys, Jaque Mate Inmobiliario. That's gonna be on August 21st and 22nd. That event is gonna transform all of us. So
Definitely.
hopefully we
The
can
QR code. The QR code here, you scan it.
Yeah,
and
it's
takes
right
you
there.
there.
It's gonna be an awesome event.
Yes, yes. And I don't think I'm missing anything, right? Is
Yeah.
anything else, guys?
We
No,
good.
nothing
Yeah, we're good
else.
to go.
We're good to go right now. We're good to go. So
Thank you, Cheryl.
thank you, Cheryl, for everything. Thank you so much for those announcements, and thank you everyone for being here on Monday. I just added the YouTube chat, the YouTube video online. Oh, there was one more announcement. Starting next week for the Mindset Monday, we're gonna be completely going on YouTube. That everyone's on YouTube unless you're part of the panel. So that's gonna be on starting next Monday. We are completely gonna be on YouTube unless you're part of the panel. If you want to participate in the panel, please let any of us know. That way we can go ahead and send you all the right backgrounds and the systems that we're going to be using to make everything flow and everything nice and neat. So we got a great topic today. Today's topic is going to be no movement, no miracles. That's the topic for today. We have to understand that miracles are not passive, that they are activated through faith-filled actions and discipline as well. Just like Kendall mentioned, discipline is a huge, huge, huge part. The thing is that most people never have a breakthrough because of the fact that we never take the first step. We never take that. And we sometimes are just kind of like, if we're waiting. And the thing is that there is no miracle. We're not going to have any miracle unless there is some type of movement. And we have to understand that. You know, faith is just like God says, faith without action is completely dead. You know, and that is something that we need to understand, that the consistency in our business is very, very important, because if we don't have the consistency, then we have a lifeless business. And that is 100% true, because when we start slacking off, you know, it just doesn't look good. So some of the things we want to discuss today is going to be one. I wrote them down exactly here. The miracle begins with movement. That's number one. Clarity comes after the step of faith. Every day without action is a day without miracles. That one is
You hear the thing with beeping?
Say it again. Oh, can you please put yourself on mute? Okay. And then success is intentional, not accidental. And number 5, God honors excellence in motion. That is huge. So let's talk about those points. Let's start with the miracle begins with movement. I love this quote by John Maxwell that said, growth is not automatic. You must pursue it. So do you guys believe that?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If we don't take action, everything is gonna stay the same way. So if we want something to be different, we got to improve and make do the step and make the decision and be intentional and do what we gotta do. We can be in the same place, so we gotta keep going. Definitely.
That's very true. Because the thing is that miracles are often waiting for you to make that first step. That uncomfortable phone call, that uncomfortable door knock, that uncomfortable video that we always try to avoid. And the thing is that unless we take those steps, unless we make those movements, unless we move forward, there is no way that we can see something completely fulfilling in our lives. Because if we're not taking those steps, then what's going to happen? What is going to happen? Everything involves us taking, just like we got real estate. What was the first step? We ended up, when we first started, all of us, before we all started in real estate, we took that first step to go take the class.
Yeah.
But once we took the class, we took the thing to go take the state test. Some of us passed it on the same time. Some of us passed it on, various times, but we kept going. That was the beautiful part about it. And now, for example, for my example, now 14 years later, it's been a very rewarding career and a very rewarding business that me and my wife have been able to develop. And it's something that is incredible. But it took that first step for us to actually see the miracle that we're seeing now, which is the freedom and the experiences that we can create for our families through real estate, which is a beautiful thing. Anybody else?
God says, help yourself, then I will help you. Help yourself. Ayúdate que yo te ayudaré. So,
No. A Dios rogando y con el mazo dando. Period.
so if we don't get up, take action, make it happen, nothing is gonna come to us. Nothing is gonna change. We're gonna stay in the same place. It doesn't matter how many ideas we have, or it doesn't matter how much we want to accomplish. If we don't move and get up and do it, nothing will happen.
That's
Yep.
right.
That is so true. That is so true. Just like in the Bible and the Red Sea, when Moses was gonna part the Red Sea, the first thing he had to do was lift his staff and part the sea, and that was the first step. He believed and he had faith that when he lifted his hand and he touched the water, that water was gonna be a part, and that was a huge part. But that's why it's so important that we take that faith, that leap of faith, that step forward. So ask yourself, what steps do you need to take? What steps do you need to take right now that you're keeping off, that you're putting off? What are the steps that all of us, I'm pretty sure, have them, because I have some as well. What are we putting off right now that all we need to do is take that first step? That's a reflection. That's a reflection question that we need to ask ourselves on a weekly basis. I've said it many times. I love journaling and I love having reflection days just to self-critique myself in regards to the things that I'm doing. We should all have recap weeks just to kind of have an idea of what we've accomplished, what are some things we did bad on, and what are some of the things we need to improve. So that's a great reflection question that we can use and apply this week. Okay, what am I putting off that I can do this week, or even today, even after we're done with this call? What are we putting off?
Yep. I'm glad you said that. So a lot of times it's in the work that we're putting off, like the miracle we're waiting for is in the actions that we've been avoiding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, guys, just so you understand, the word life actually tells you what you're supposed to do, right? Because the word life is an acronym, right? So L stands for learn, I stands for implement, F stands for fail, E stands for evaluate. It's a circle, right? So I learned something, I implemented. That's the first thing you got to do. That's the step, right? Then you fail at some parts of it, right? So then you evaluate, right? You journal, you evaluate, and you're like, oh, wait, I messed up on this. Maybe if I do it this way, now you learned something new. Now you implement it again, and it's a circle. Learn, implement, fail, evaluate. That is
like that one.
The word life. So it's even telling you in the word life what you're supposed to do.
Wow, I never thought about it. I never even had that. That's a good one. I'm gonna use that one for the next time. Right. Okay. Learn. What was it? Learn,
implement,
learn,
implement, fail at it, evaluate it, and then learn it again. Implement it, fail at it, evaluate. Learn it, fail, implement, fail at it, evaluate. So you just consistently just get better at it. So that way, and this was taught to us a coach told me this, I didn't create it. He said, you're never going to find the perfect moment to start. Just start and then learn as you go along, implement the stuff you want to implement. You're not going to implement it perfectly. You're going to make mistakes. So you're going to fail at some things. Evaluate what you failed at, see how we could tweak it. So now you learn something new, you learn how to tweak it. And now you're going to implement it again, see if it works until you get it just right. You don't want to get it perfect because perfect's never going to happen, right? But you want to get it just right.
Wow,
Okay.
that's a really good one. I never even thought about that. That's really good. I'm definitely gonna write that down.
Put it in the group chat for you guys.
That's really good.
Put in the group chat.
And I think that kind of brings us in a little bit into the next one, which is clarity comes after the step of faith. Because I know Tom Ferry, I have it here, Tom Ferry teaches that action brings clarity. Sometimes we want the clarity first before we actually make that first step. And normally what happens is the clarity comes after you already took that step. That's when the clarity emerges once you start moving forward. And it kind of goes along with what Ray was saying about the implementation. Is you learn it, now you implement it, and then you fail. And with the evaluating part, that's when we are getting that clarity that we need to improve it or change it or do whatever it is we have to do. But the important part is that we cannot forget is the evaluating part, because that's where we start getting clarity and start evaluating, okay, what are we doing? Is this the correct way? You know, these are the steps. I didn't like the way this is the outcome of this, and we continue moving forward. So that's what it's very important that we jump in. Of course, we learn it, jump in, and as we go, we are moving forward. But why are we so scared sometimes of just making that jump? Why? Why is that? It was a question.
It's just a lot of the time I think
we thought it was a statement.
Why are we so scared? Because we are scared of the of the no's. We are scared of failing. We are scared of the new that we have never experienced before, and since it's new, we haven't tried before. We look at it like, wait, I have to think about it. And that is what is keeping us from, and I just gotta say this, I just gotta mention this real quick. It just came to mind. Like I never liked, or, you know, before it was a thing for me, like what is it, the my God, it went off. I said, oh, I don't eat, what are the things with the shelf with the seafood that looks like
crabs?
No, the
sushi.
Oh my God.
Sushi.
No. The other one is salami and oh my goodness. Oysters. I mean, like, oh, you know, the way it looks to me was like, ugh, and just the texture and everything. And I'm like, I never try it. So this year, I'm like, we went to a restaurant and we ordered this tray of different seafood. And you know what? I said, you know what? Let me try this.
I'm gonna go crazy and let's go.
I'm like, let me try something this year. Let me say yes to different things. And I tried the oyster and I said, oh my God, what have I missing out all these years because I didn't try, because I didn't, just because how it looks, just because how I thought that it was going to make me feel, I was going to, it's yucky. And I try and I'm like, holy moly, this is good. So this is, I think that just came to mind when you said, you know, the trying new thing is like, let's try, let's say yes. Let's say yes to just try it, even though if we, you know, I could not like it, but at least
you tried. You tried it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You don't. Sorry. Right. You don't. The thing is that we don't have to have everything figured out all the time. That's the thing. With once we are jump in, even if we don't have it figured out, we gain momentum through that process of basically trying and going through and taking that first step. We gain momentum. We don't have to have it figured out. And that's the thing sometimes that we fall because we're trying to have every little detail, every little thing figured out. The thing is that God guides those who are willing to walk. That's the thing about that. That if you're stuck waiting on a sign, it might not come. It might not come, because the thing is that we have to make that first step. We have to go ahead and just start walking forward. We have to start walking forward, because if not, then we're just going to be stuck, completely stuck. Ray, you were going to say something?
Yeah, so two things. So back to what you were saying about God giving us, you know, he'll help us, but we have to prepare. There's a I don't know if this is a quote or if this is actually in the Bible, but there was a thing that I like that says, God gives every bird its food, but it did not lay it into its nest. God gives every bird his food, but he does not lay it into his nest. Meaning the bird will go out there. As long as the bird gets up and goes out there, there'll be food. God will place the food. The bird has to go get it though. That's one. The second thing is, one of the biggest things that we are scared of, and this one is big for everybody because we don't realize it until someone mentions it, is your fear of success.
Yes.
So let me explain to you what I mean by that really quick, right? A fear of success is, I do an open house. I hate open house. There was one time we were in a meeting and this girl says, oh, I don't do open houses. They're horrible. And I said, well, how do you do the open house? And obviously she does it mediocre. So she's going to have horrible results. But I told her, do another one and do it in this area at this time. And I guarantee you'll have success, right? The failure of having that success made her never do that open house. She never did it. She never did it because she knew that I was giving her the formula for success. And some people don't realize how afraid they are to succeed, right? The biggest example of that is there's a video on there's an actual movie called Hitch. And in the movie, there's a part where he calls the girl and she picks up the phone. And he thought the assistant was going to pick up. So he throws the phone. So he successfully got her on the phone to talk to her. Mm-hmm. And he throws the phone. The other guy had to grab the phone to talk to her, right? Because fear of success. Successfully, she answered the phone. And that's the thing we have to be careful for. We want to be successful, right? But we need to know and we need to have clarity on where we're going so that we're not afraid of being successful, right? Like if someone has never had $150,000 or $200,000 or $300,000 in a bank account, getting that is a different feeling. You need to be ready for that feeling. And that's the fear of success. And we have to be careful with that. So we have to be diligent. We have to go ahead and make sure we're implementing and being disciplined, but we have to do it in all areas, not just getting the deal, not just working with that buyer, not just closing that deal, but then after that, and then start working that whole process, because you have to learn and evaluate everything you're doing so that as you grow, a different you is going to start to become you. I mean, I've been the same guy regardless of how much we make every year. But the thing is, I am different when it comes to the leadership and the way I grow and the way I teach people how to grow, because we want to make sure that that person is ready for the next step, you know? So that's important. That's really important.
Sometimes, Ray, and I'm good with you, but sometimes it's not afraid to success. It's afraid with comes with success.
Exactly.
You have to compromise. You have to work hard. You have to give up a lot of other things in order to do what you have to do to get to success. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants the success. Everybody wants the money, but the work, the compromise, a lot of things, you know, get involved. Doing an open house, going out with clients, you know, this is something a lot of people are not ready or not willing to do it, you know.
Yep.
That is no true. That's a lot to do with the responsibility, and it's a big thing with the responsibility. Sometimes people are not willing to take that responsibility, because once you are moving forward and taking that step, there's a big responsibility that comes with it. That's why it's so important that, you know, to take that first step, because even if you're scared of the responsibility or the success or whatever the case is, but we have to understand that, you know, you're gonna get clarity as we are taking that step, regardless if you're afraid of the success, the responsibility, the hard work that Norma said that you have to do, because that all involves that. That's all part of it. That's all part. It's hard work sometimes to take that first step. That is something that you know, we're not always gonna be ready. We're not always gonna be ready. And the point is with this is that you just need to start. And once you start, you're gonna start the ball rolling, and all those things will start falling into place. Then then you can figure out the work that you're gonna have to do behind it. The responsibility is gonna come with it. So it's something. It is true. What everyone's saying is 100% true. But it's just how we process it and how we process it and then push it forward. So it's very important. Before, I know Kendall has his hand up and Cheryl, but before I want to say something, I want to put what they're saying on the YouTube. They put on YouTube here. Let me see, what was it? There are no shortcuts to momentum. It's built by repeating the motion. That is that was that to me that was a good one. That's a really good. That's Jose said that. It's built by repeating the motion. So we constantly have to be repeating and doing and doing. That's why I love that life thing that Ray said, that LI, the learn, implement, fail, and evaluate. That is really good. So that's something that we can implement every day on the actions that we're doing to build that momentum, because there is no shortcut. There's no quick get rich scheme here going on, or real estate. Everybody thinks you get into real estate and we make millions of dollars. And it's not like that. There's a lot of work behind that. And then Johanny, she put, we make strides as we take actions as small as they can be all through the day. So that's another big one there that I think that sometimes we fail at, which is we don't give the importance to the small tasks that we need to, that are pushing the momentum forward. It's not the big moments sometimes. It's the small little things that continue that momentum going forward. We're moving forward and moving forward. And we have to be okay with those little small strides. And sometimes we don't give that the importance. Kendall, you have your hand up, and then Cheryl, and then we'll continue. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Very impressed with the team. You're sharing so many great information. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, let me say something about this subject. No matter what I do in life, I try to inform myself. The information is the act of knowing about it. Then I train myself. Keep in mind, there's a small difference, can be a big as well, depending how you say it, between information and the training. The information is the knowledge. The training, it's what's going to give you confidence. Once you are confident about no matter what the subject is, you feel much more comfortable, whether it's an open house, whether it's having a conversation with a client or a prospect, whether it's having a conversation with a partner, a referral partner. So confidence is extremely important no matter what you do in life, but you cannot get confident without the training. You can know about the information, but you need to train yourself to become confident. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you. That's that.
Well said.
Training is, that's the other part of this. Cheryl.
Very important.
Talking about what just Kendall said about training, and you know, another thing that we sometimes stop us to do what we wanted to do is what the other people are gonna say or think. I'm gonna give you an example. I love to do funny videos, but sometimes, and my husband is, share what the people are gonna think about you if you start doing crazy stuff like this. And I don't care. That's me. If they're gonna like me, they're gonna like me because that's me. And when I'm doing the videos, I notice that we just need to make sure that when you do it, like we need to have like a balance, do something informational and funny so people can see who you are and then learn from you. But every time you do a video, you're training yourself to do it better and better and better every time. And if something is stopping you, somebody could be just yourself saying to you, oh, you're not good enough, you don't know enough. Just stop that mindset. Just do like friends when they say pivot your mindset, and just say if the video is 80% good, I still gonna post it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. We're never gonna be like 100% good with that. Just do it. Just implement, because when you do it that many times, you're gonna train yourself that the next time you're gonna be doing like fluently. And if you want to do your funny video, just do it, because sometimes that's the one is gonna go viral, and then you're gonna get business from that.
Yep, that's so true.
That's right, Sharon.
That video stuff, that's another job. And the thing is about that, let's use that as an example to go right into the third topic, which is every day without action is a day without miracles. The thing is that we overthink things so much we overthink that, like we're using the example that Cheryl said about the video. Oh, I don't look good on camera, or I don't know what I'm gonna say. There's so much thinking going on in our brains when it comes just to thinking about the videos that it paralyzes us. It paralyzes us. And it's just something that we have to understand that every day that passes, every single day that we decide not to do either that video or that call or whatever that is that you've implemented, every single day that happens, you're putting yourself further and further and further away from the goals and the things that you want to reach. So I like this quote from John Maxwell here. People change when they heard enough, learn enough, or receive enough. That is, how can I put this? I'm sorry, but I don't want to wait until I'm hurting to make a change. I know sometimes that's what it takes, that you have to hurt, maybe financially, to really start. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta go do a video. Oh, I gotta go make calls. Oh, I gotta do my CRM. That is something that is that we shouldn't wait until to that point, because the thing is that God supports the diligent, but not the passive. And it's just something that we as individuals have to understand, that we have to be diligent in the things that we do every single day, because every day we go without action, we are putting ourselves further and further away. I know in real estate, what's the stat? It's like, if you do a month without doing something, that equates to like 3 months of being behind. Is it something like that?
Yep.
I forget right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
90 days.
90 days. 90 days.
Yeah.
So reflection question. What daily habit can you commit to starting today to open the door for results? Think about that. So that way you can have that question for today as you go on, as you go on your day. What is that daily habit that is going to open the door for your results that you're looking for? What is that? And figure, okay, am I taking that first step? Am I waiting? Am I overthinking this? Am I not taking action? Am I not believing in what I can accomplish? Am I not believing on those things? Because if not, then we have to evaluate and figure out, okay, what's going on that this is happening, that I can't just go ahead and do it? Because we are capable of doing anything and everything. We are all capable of that. And that's something we all have to believe on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
Anything
if we
else?
can think it, we can accomplish.
That is very true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, that takes into the next topic, which is success is intentional, not accidental. Who believes that?
Oh, yes.
Yes. You have to be intentional every single day with your actions.
Right.
Say that again, Neville?
Oh, like you have to be intentional every single day with your actions. Like you can't wake up and just think, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do today, but I'll figure it out along the way. Like you have to know what outcome you want.
No, when we do that, we see the difference in the day.
Yeah.
Being without like a GPS job, being lost, looking what to do in the day.
Because the thing is that I don't know who has routines. I have routines. I'm pretty sure hopefully everybody got a routine. Because the thing is that the routine becomes your reality. That's huge there. Your routine becomes your reality. Because if you wake up every day and you have nothing scheduled, you didn't take time to prepare your week or your day, whatever the case is, what's going to be your reality? You're going to be lost. You're going to be paralyzed, overthinking, stressing, because, oh my goodness, what am I going to do to get business? Because you have nothing on your calendar. And that is something that we have to take at heart, that we have to figure out what our routine is, what we want to accomplish, where you want to say. I know Ray said it earlier, where we want to go, where we want to be. That way, then we can create a plan around that. Because if not, then your routine that you have, whether a lack of one or a good one, will become your reality. And that reality, you got to really think about that. That reality that I'm creating right now, since I don't have a calendar, or I don't have something set up, or I don't have a strategy or a plan or a business plan. Do I like that reality that's being created? Do I like where that's headed, where that's going? Because we can all see, if we're not doing what we need to do, where we're going to end up at. And if you don't like it, when we need to start making changes, we need to start making moves to make sure. Just like none of us liked our reality when we were doing a 9-to-5, because I'm pretty sure all of us had 9-to-5s. And we didn't like that reality. So what we did, we made changes. We took steps. We took a leap of faith. We took that first step to do what we had to do to get out of that reality and create something else, or start the momentum to create something else. For some, has it turned into something incredible. For some, not as much. But I'm pretty sure that is because there's something missing in that walk that we've been doing. So, but we're capable of all of it.
Yeah, sometimes things need to be like extreme for us to make a decision. Like when we were in the last job, like saying like, okay, I feel desperate here. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be in the office 9 to 5. I want something different, more time for my family. Something usually have to be like really extreme for us to make the move. So
The wake up call.
The wake up call. Exactly.
Sometimes we need it every day.
Yes.
We need it every single day. Who's someone gonna say something? Oh no.
That's right.
Oh,
so ain't that the truth? I mean, we definitely every day we with different things we always experience, and we need that wake up call. We need someone to set you up and be like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. Thank you for telling me that. And then makes you take a different step forward.
That is so true. So the reflection question I want to leave everybody here: are we expecting our businesses to change while staying the same? That's a great question. That's a very powerful question that we can ask ourselves. You know, what are we expecting out of our business in the current state that we're in? And are we willing to make changes to change our current state? Because, you know, if we're struggling in regards to, you know, sales or whatever the case is, then the change starts with you. Everything starts with you. And if we are going to stay the same, then we cannot get mad if we're getting the results that we've been getting because we stayed the same. We didn't make any change. We didn't take that step forward.
Yeah. But you know, the funny thing, we usually think that that everything can change without us doing a movement. So we're expecting sometime something change. Like why I'm not having the same, you know, what I wanted to have, the sales that I want, the business that I want, the car that I want, the house that I want. But if we don't do anything, so that it's going to keep the same way. So we sometimes expect results without doing an action, without taking an action. That's funny because we usually expecting that and it's not possible.
Yes, that's so true. I like what Eric wrote on the chat here. He firmly believes in the formula of sleep, diet, exercise, and meditation. That's a good one there. I like that one. Sleep, diet, exercise, and meditation. That kind of incorporates everything, the full circle. The full circle. Go ahead, Eric.
I just let me get it out. And you guys should know me by now. Anyway, listen, I finally gave in a year back, and I accepted therapy and all these things that I ran away from. I still haven't done the open houses, but I'm working on that. But anyway, and this is how it took me a year to come to that conclusion of who I am. And I'm all about routines. I'm all about schedules. And unless you fix your sleep, your diet, and I'm not talking about calorie, no crazy stuff. Just eat right, exercise, and you gotta meditate. I don't really do meditation. I do mindfulness. I go sit out there in my garden 2 or 3 times a day, and I just listen to the birds. And that puts my rest of my day in line. Every time I get off track, I read that. I have that with me. I read it, and I go back to my schedule. For me, there's no other way. They have to be hard on me. All right, I'll keep going.
It's important to have routines. It's very important to have routines. That's something that it keeps us on track. Some people think routines are boring, but no. And when we're out of a routine, we're all over the place most of the time. We need those routines to be able to stay on track. It's not a boring thing. Don't stray away from routines. But of course, if you're creating the routine, you can make the routine as exciting as you want. That's the beautiful thing about this. You're in control of that routine, so you can create it, you know, extremely exciting if you want. So far we discussed.
I would like to say something.
Go ahead, Norma.
We tend to procrastinate. Procrastinate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you got it.
I don't have time to do it today. I don't feel like it. I will do it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Maybe next week I will start in the gym. Yeah. This week is a 4th of July week. I don't feel like work. I will do it tomorrow. Don't worry. You know, I will do it. Tomorrow is tomorrow. The today never comes. If that happened to All of us. That happened to me a lot.
Mhm.
I made 3 calls. I will make the other 20 tomorrow. But tomorrow something happened. I had to put everything away and do it. If that is the human being,
Yeah.
procrastination is, I think, number 1.
Yes, that's true.
Tomorrow I start in the gym. Tomorrow we'll start making calls. Tomorrow we'll do videos or open houses. Everything is tomorrow.
Because we get
Yeah.
distracted a lot. We get distractions, a lot of distractions nowadays that takes us away and then helps with that procrastination because we are feeding the feel good feelings in ourselves. And when we start feeding that feel good, they call it dopamine, all that stuff. We can go down a big rabbit hole with that, but it's just something that
I remember, sorry, Cesar, okay? I remember something Ray told us long time ago. If you don't have money, you don't have business going on, don't go to vacation. Stay and work and do business. When you have a lot of business, a lot of closing, then you go on vacation. You remember
Yeah.
that, Ray?
I remember.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's how it
That
is. That's just reality.
That's
reality.
true. But the thing what you said about procrastination, we gotta watch those distractions. That's why routines
Yes.
help us stay on track. That's the reason why. So we talked about the miracles. The discussion points is the miracle begins with movement. That's number 1. Clarity comes after your first step of faith. Every day without action is a day without miracles. Success is intentional, not accidental. And the last one that we're going to talk is God honors excellence in motion. Okay? Excellence is not an act, it is a habit. So if we follow through on the routines, if we follow through on the vision that we have for ourselves, in regards to our business and our personal development, you will have excellence. You will have excellence. It takes time, but it's something that if you're working hard work pays off. Hard work pays off. Being strategic pays off. And it's just something that if you're working diligently, it is something that you
need to work smart. Don't
Correct.
walk.
Correct. And that's why it's so important that we must understand kind of where we're going or where we want to accomplish or where we want to be, because it's not just about closing deals, the growth, the impact. You want to make sure that you are working towards something much bigger, because when you're working something towards much bigger, then you're more disciplined to stay on track of where you want to head or where you're gonna go. So it's so important to work towards that is much bigger than what you are, and that's important as well. Anybody else wants to add to that? How God honors excellence that is in motion.
Yeah, that's right. I want to say this quote that is that miracle don't meet you at the starting line. They meet you at the misstep. So that meaning that we need to do the move. We need to go ahead and make the decision and just not be standing, and we gotta keep moving. And that's the only way that we can have miracles in our lives, in our business, and not only waiting for it. We gotta go get it. So this is really important.
That's very true. Because the thing is that miracles, like when we see miracles in our business, that's not the reward of like us being perfect in everything that we do. It's basically an invitation for those that are decided to walk, those that decided to take that step forward, to take that leap of faith. And when we take that leap and we take that first step, it's just something that might be scared in the beginning, but it gets better. I'm telling you. The point is that we must take that step. And as we continue and build that momentum, you will see excellence. You will see the fruits, and you will see, the things that you will become as you move forward. But until you will never see it unless you take that first step. So one of the reflection question that we can use for today as well for this one is, are you doing your part with excellence or just trying to get by? Are we just trying to get by, or are we actually working in excellence? Are we putting 150% into the business? or we're just doing the bare minimum. That's what it's all about when it comes to the excellence part, is are you going to do everything at 150%? Because sometimes we half-ass it. And when we half-ass it, you know, we don't get the results that we want. Then we get frustrated. Then we get into this cycle of frustration, and it just takes us away from where we want to be at. Chichi, you had your hand up?
Yes, I do. Actually, I wanted to say something that in Turkey, we have a saying. It says, if the baby does not cry, the mama will not feed the baby. So you need to do your job. You need to cry in order to get fed.
Yeah.
I love that because we have one, but I'm not gonna say it here.
Yeah, no, it's
But
like
that is the truth. You know, anybody who's a
true.
mom or dad, you know that if the baby don't cry, you want attention because you think that his baby is happy.
Yep.
The only time that if the
That's
baby
right.
cries, then you go look, oh, baby needs food or baby needs the cleaning. You need to do your part in order to get fed.
That is true.
I need to cry
Say that again.
aloud.
Say that again, Norma. I didn't hear it.
I need to cry loud.
Yes. So we can get fed.
Oh, Chichi.
yeah.
So don't treat this business as a side hustle, okay? Don't treat it as a side hustle. This is something that it requires us to really take this the way we need to. That we need to work 150% to make sure that we are going to get the results that we're looking for. So one thing we're about to finalize. One thing I want to kind of the last reflection question that we can use is, what's one step of obedience or faith-filled action you're going to take this week, even if it's uncomfortable? What is that one thing that we're going to do this week that is going to put you out of your comfort zone, but at the same time is going to help you grow? What is that one thing? If someone wants to share, it'd be great. And then maybe we can hold you accountable next week on next Monday when we come on. What is one thing that someone wants to share that we're going to do this week? And something that's going to make you uncomfortable and is going to push you beyond your comfort zone.
Talk, people.
What?
Talk, people.
Making calls.
But no,
Yes,
yeah,
one
making
thing that I set my mind to do is like, I start since last week when we have that amazing, last week section. I said, okay, first of all, it's like, how am I gonna do this? Like, how I got things to do, but how am I gonna structure this? Because I'm doing, but I got these things that I have to do, but I haven't get to it. It's because I need to structure. Like, I have to, like, the alarm has to go up a certain time of the morning so I can have time to do my routine, and then take 1 hour every day to do. I need to work on Lofty. That's a main thing that I have to do, and I have to work on my calls that I have set that on my things that I have to do. So I this week I'm like, my alarm, it goes up, and I have to take 1 or 2 hours to work on that. It has to be on my schedule and it has to be there, and I'm going to start like doing it. So that's my goal this week.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. So as we finish today, I want to thank everyone that was on the call. That was on the Zoom, everybody that's on YouTube. I really thank for tuning in. I hope that this information definitely helps someone, helps somebody, because that's the point of why we do this. That's why we have this community, that we're doing this on a weekly basis so we can, in some way, shape, or form, help you and push you one step closer to the vision that you have for yourself. And that is something that, we all strive for on the Zoom and on the call and the YouTube, is to really help you move one step closer to where you want to reach, or the goal that you want to have. Because you might not capture everything on the call as we're going through it, but that one little thing, that one reflection question might hit you like hard, and you start making that step forward. And that's the beautiful thing. And then from there, that momentum builds. And from that one thing, you didn't get everything, that's fine, But that one thing that made it, that's all we needed, was that one reflection question to move you forward and really force you to make that step. So as we end the call, just don't forget, we have this QR code here is to find out more information about this thing right here, the Jaque Mate. It's going to be an amazing event. There's going to be some very powerful speakers, even I forgot the guy's name, Cesar Bals. He's the one that he's done the marketing for Ferrari, Rolex, some very high-end brands, and that's just one of the speakers that's going to be there. There's going to be a ton of speakers. So if you want to go, please scan the QR code so you can have more information about this, and and just go, because it's something that's going to be in August. It's going to be an amazing event. And then don't forget, next week on Monday, we're all going to be on YouTube, through YouTube, unless you're part of the panel, because we're going to be using a different system to make the call. So if anybody has anything else, I think we're pretty much done.
Yeah. And
anybody else have
happy
anything else?
birthday to Priscilla. It was yesterday.
Oh yes, happy birthday. It was
she's
yesterday.
enjoying vacation now.
That's very true. Happy birthday,
Happy
Priscilla.
Monday,
We
guys.
missed her.
Happy Monday. Have a blessed week,
Yeah.
and have
Have
a
a blessed
successful-
week.
And let's do this.
All right,
Yes.
bye, guys.
Bye.
Keep up the
Yeah, let's
work.
do it. Let's do it.
All right, then.
Remember, 4-day
Take care,
week, you gotta
guys.
work twice as hard.
Yes. Why
All right,
not?
have a good week.